app right now going, holy shit, in Oklahoma City, I look and it's like, oh, 15 miles here, 25 miles here, 55 miles here, track. And I'm looking here and it's just like 293 miles. 100, I'm like,
It's amazing the guys are that good, and without the varying terrains that we have on the East Coast, to be as good as they are, and they come and kick our ass at Loretta's. Like, props to the California kids that can pull that off.
Let's come out here. Let's bring, because there's always going to be Paula on the schedule. There's always going to be, like Elsinore was a disaster of a national. The Utah National, another disaster. But you got to go race these races, and it's funny as amateurs. Oh, we don't like that track. I'm like, well, wait, hold on. You don't like that track? Oh yeah, we don't race that one because we don't like it. We're okay. What happens when there's the same 11 outdoor nationals that have been on the track for
that one.
45 years?
Oh
yeah, you don't like that track. Oh yeah, let's just
we're not doing that one.
So to come out here and we got the big downhill. We had some condition today. Like as far as riding for fun, it sucked. The wind. Like as
we
far
were in
as,
the announcers tower.
But the suffer, like what else sucked? Like I watch Supercross every other weekend, and it looks like it sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for a race, like it's not a bad thing. So I'm embrace
Embrace the
Instagram.
suck.
Exactly, that's Instagram nowadays. You scroll through your feed, and it's like
It's always so good. It's beautiful.
and this guy. So there's obviously something to it.
Sure.
So let's embrace it. And tomorrow, I know Gary and the crew. I was out here for the qualifier. It's not going to be that tomorrow. We got some adverse winds and conditions.
It was sunny, and I'm talking about what do you think? Sustained winds. We're talking mid-30s, 40 mile an hour continuous. It's going to dry a racetrack.
That one gust of wind in the 50 class where like that kid came to a stop on top of the jump. He couldn't see anything.
Brent Stallo was actually out there and filming. I'm like, dude, he had to tuck in, and I'm watching him.
Just
like,
gotta hold on.
It rocked him pretty good.
Hey, boys, we officially just started going live because, hey, it's a little loose. I suck at this. It's the first time in a while. We're practicing. I'm going to play down the intro again.
Okay.
And let's just have a little fun. You guys don't have to start from scratch, but, tell everybody what we're here doing again.
All right, well, let's reset because we suck. I have no problem with that. Like, I want to hear this song again anyway. So we missed our mark. It's not us. Sorry.
If there's anything that can make a man just about to lose his mind, baby, you got it. Baby, you got it. And if there's anything that a man could want, thinks about all of the time, baby, you got it.
Tell you why you should download the Verb Prospect app. I'm already seeing like what you're in the world of baseball, which is where I come from, my kids come from. There's an app called Perfect Game. All the kids want to see it. They want to see what their ranking is, and it's very similar. And they post it on Facebook and their velos and all their stuff, all the exit speed of the bat, all that stuff's there, and they post it all the time. And you're like, you posted it, and immediately some of your buddies were like, "My kid's ranked this, and there's all his #1 plates," and it took off like that.
Well, and it's so funny. We're actually connected to my iPad here, so you guys can follow along as you jump on the Prospect app. So
you're live, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at this thing. The amount of information we were just looking at. We've been using it all day, and we're still looking at new things that it's got. I mean, a Loretta Lens tracker. Yeah, just to give you an idea about some of the riders and the information that it has. These are national rankings. You can see at the top of the screen, 2025. They've got last year's information and then all-time as well. So for 2025, Max Shane, that's one of your guys, Greg. That's the guy right now, the #1. You can see, you can set your profile information. If you find a sick photo, going to go ahead and give Max a follow here. And this just breaks down basically what Max has been up to. It shows
this
all
stuff is fascinating.
Of
42
his,
second place finishes.
That's a lot of #1s. I mean, it goes, and you can break this down further. Look at the metrics that they have. Average moto finishes, 136 podiums, 259 top 10 finishes. I mean, you're not finding this information on amateur riders, whether it's the amateur stars or whether it's somebody like me. And I'm even on this app as well. I haven't raced since 2018.
But you're there. What's your ranking? Compared to Max Shane. Max is #1.
Max Shane is #1. Let's see. Zac Herrin is going to be
this
number...
This is painful, boys. This one's...
125,038. He says
there's 125,000 users. So
I think there's actually like 160,000 boys. Just let you know.
The goal was 126,000. If I could be in the top 126,000.
Hey Zach, go look me up and let's see. I want to see if I'm beating you.
Oh,
so anytime you race and then you have trackside results, it automatically populates. So all your races will auto-populate, and if for years, like as far back as trackside goes. So,
and we're working on a much deeper archive. So eventually, I want to have my 2002 GPG results on here, Kevin. You know,
we got to dig deep for those. Yeah. Wes Williams, there's Wes.
Yes.
Damn it!
Suck it, Wes.
Points.
Damn it!
I cut off that angle. I
remember those days.
being in the top.
All right, keep striving.
Yeah, keep pushing for the
Yep.
top.
Yeah, you'll get there one day, kid.
Well, hey, boys, you talk about our blending reality series here. I'm going to play it on the TV in front of you. This is real Mesquite right here. I got some great time lapses.
Yeah, this has been pretty cool. If you guys have been following along Verb Moto, they've been working on what's called the blending realities. You guys can check this out on verbmoto.com on their YouTube channel as well. But they team up with Martin Palm, who is an insane track builder. I mean, as
I
guys
saw
know-
him before I even saw this. Like I follow him on Instagram because I'm fascinated with these little miniature scale things he does. But take a look at it. Wes, throw that up on the screen. Let's have a look and just.
Yeah, and you are literally blending realities. They could put a real photo and then put a photo of this
You're
diorama,
not sure where
whatever you call it. I don't know what
a
is
diorama.
what. Yeah, it's incredible to see the amount of detail that goes into it, and they break it down a little bit further.
Look at Greg. He's very confused. Like I don't understand these words. Dioramas and blending realities.
Where are we going with this?
He's gluing trees.
We're
down.
going to show it here in a minute.
Yeah.
We are showing it.
thing you were talking
I'm sorry,
about.
you guys can't see it. We're working through some problems here,
Okay,
right?
so
We're
it's,
talking about
it's being
Beetlejuice.
played right now, right?
We'll do it live. It's all right. But so they're talking about the story of World Mini, how it all got started. Martin Palm, who's, like I said, the track builder, he tells the story of three people. They've got different backgrounds, all their journeys toward the same goal. It's going to be a 3-episode series, and episode 1 is live on the Verb Moto YouTube channel. You guys definitely need to check it out. And even just the little social bits that they've teased as well, like we were talking about, the detail that's got to go into that. Whether you're a miniature diorama guy or not, you got to have some respect for it. And I
the
mean,
fact that you know diorama, how many homeschoolers have done a diorama? You train your kids at over there at Game about doing dioramas?
Hopefully they do it on track.
Diarrhea's in their pants. That sounds like diarrhea. Is like they don't even know what that word is. Hey, I want to pay some bills right now. We've in order to keep the lights on here because we can barely keep videos going here. We want to thank the good folks from DID. Man, these guys support Verb. So if you like what they're doing, you should buy their wheels. Race Ready Kits. Elevate your riding experience with the pinnacle of motorcycle chain kits. DID. Renthal Race Ready Chain Kits. 2 of the most championship-winning brands in motorcycle racing have teamed up to bring you the ultimate all-in-one solution for riders. What do you think about that so far? Am I doing all right?
Yeah, I think you're doing great.
Okay.
DID or nothing.
Seeking top-tier performance, durability, and effortless maintenance. Use the discount code. This is the money shop. DID Race Ready. That's it. DID Race Ready. 15% off. You know how expensive chains and sprockets are?
Especially DID, but they're priced for a reason.
You go to
At
Loretta's,
450
you want-
Supercross, 450
you want that
Supercross,
failing on you?
You can only run DID. There's so many different teams. They got different stickers. They're buying DID chains. You have to in 450 Supercross.
Is that
so you're gonna
happening?
Promise you, that's the
I
only
love
chain
that.
we ever ran. And we got paid from other chain companies, and we bought.
He's telling you
DIDs.
exactly why. For 15% off chain kits today at didchain.com. Again, it's DID Race Ready. That's the code word. 15% off. So let's get back to it. World Mini. We kind of touched on this early on. Why you're even here. I think we've got so many big events on the East Coast, from the Baja Bra to Mini O's. We've got Loretta's. We've got the Texas stuff. But out here, you would think we would have just ginormous amateur motocross races. We got the Cal Classic. We got Mammoth, but damn, there's a bunch of riders out here we're just not tapped into. But now we are.
No, and it's tough. We've got everything's in the center of the country. Baja's
Ponca as
there.
well,
That's
the
up there,
Dane.
but Ponca, Loretta's, the Spring Nationals, and we've always had World Mini. It went away for a while, but we, the East Coast one was the Mini O's, right? And then World Mini had theirs, so we had our one East Coast and Mammoth, because of the size of Loretta's and what the giant it's become. Mammoth has kind of fallen off, so this is the perfect time and the perfect date, and it always was. So to bring the World Mini back is just great, and it's an event I want to support for multiple reasons.
And we talked about timing, and you harped on it all day. Like you can set your watch. To
Oh man,
whatever's
yeah.
happening
Swiss
on the track.
watches run like Mesquite MX, and you talked on that just a minute ago, Greg. Like coming from the East Coast, it is a trip. It's a bit out of the way for you guys, but when hey, I'm gonna pull on the property on Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it is. I'm gonna know exactly what time I'll be on track on Sunday. You as a trainer and as somebody at the
value to
facility,
that, dude.
you're gonna know exactly when your riders are out there. There's no second guessing. I know Kevin and I, we get lost from time to time. It does happen as far as who's out there, especially practice day today. You literally check the watch, and sure enough, every time they're right on.
Yeah, they're on.
They've got track maintenance scheduled. Like, it's organization. It's being prepared ahead of time. There's never any catch up going on. Gary Bruff, track owner here at Mesquite, stays in the tower with us the whole time. I mean, the guys haven't even finished rolling on the ground. They've got the lights flashing. They're communicating with the flaggers. From the safety aspect to the track prep, like you said, a little bit of adverse conditions. We had constant winds all day long today, but they go out of their way throughout the day to try to make the track as great as possible. And I mean, yeah, I'm a Carolina kid, and if I had the ability and was chasing these top amateur races as far as competition and locations go, yeah, I'd be trying to make the trip out here some way or another to World Mini, and I think it's going to stick around.
And it's different competition, man.
Yeah,
Get
it's
out
totally
of your
different guys.
Get out of your comfort zone. Like that's how you get better. My dad always like just. Do you suck at ruts? Do you hate ruts? I'm like, yeah, I hate them. He goes, well, you need to practice them. So you need to get out on this hard pack stuff and figure it out. Because like you said, there's 11 rounds of pro nationals. Some of them are lush dirt. Some of them hard pack sand. We got the varying terrains.
Yeah, and you have to be out here, and you have to see all the conditions. And there's a lot of fast kids that show up. Like in the middle of the country, it's always the same players, right? We get the little bit of guys from the East Coast, a little bit of guys from the West Coast, and the Centrals usually get. But come out to this race, the California kids can't all afford to get out there. So you see some bad fast dudes, and we're gonna get into talking a few of them. But like Dylan Graham's one of them.
Yep. Dylan Graham is definitely one of them.
That's one of the kids we'll get into later. But like he's maybe not a kid that you're gonna see at the Spring Nationals, and you're gonna come out here and you're gonna race him on his own turf, and it doesn't matter whether you're Brody Moss or he's from out here, but or if a Colt Martin or somebody like that comes out here, like you're gonna have to deal with a kid that you might have not ever dealt with before.
Here's a great opportunity to talk about the Prospect app again. I'm not selling it. I don't make any money on it, but I love the idea of me showing up to a race. I'm a Dylan Graham. I don't get to go east a bunch and square off with these guys to really know where I stack. I'm like, all right, well, I can look up and all right, I beat this guy's ranked number 14, this guy's ranked number 12, and it's like, man, I can go back home and like I will dig in to train for real then, like knowing I'm one of the beating the boys.
Well, and like we were talking about earlier, the rider, sure, it helps you build your confidence, helps you compare to other riders, but then you take this as a promotional tool as well, to be able to go to, whether it's trying to get into a facility like the Game Moto complex, or whether it's going to somebody like Yamaha, going to somebody like Thor, saying, hey, look, here's what I've been able to do. As you get more and more involved with this, you're going to be able to show what you're able to do. One of the cool things is we looked at the rankings. They've got the all-time rankings, but then they reset at the end of every year as well. So like 2025, we've got a couple kids moving up from super minis to big bikes. Okay, and it's kind of a refresh. Now, everybody that was winning last year, now you're maybe backside of the top 10 in the B class, but then you're able to see from January 1st, we get down to right before Loretta's, you'll be able to see the growth of these riders as well and bring that to sponsors.
I'm excited to see, like, these are the rankings we have currently. They rank a 60 kid versus a open B versus a vet guy. They're going to be able to weed this all out. You'll be able to get down to, are you the best Honda rider from Georgia?
Yeah.
Are you the best guy from your facility?
Yeah.
That's cool to isolate it.
I mean, here's the bold truth of things, too. This is my relationship with Daniel Blair, my relationship with Donnie Lewis, my relationship with a lot of these guys that are given rides. We think they're watching a lot closer than they are.
Yep.
There's 36 classes out there. I mean, this is a great tool for those guys to actually know what's going on. They're here at the race. They got a job. They are not watching 36 classes that closely. I promise you that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why I get calls. Hey, what about this kid? Well, how did he do? Well, you were at that race. How did you see? There's a lot going on. So obviously it's my business. So I have riders in every single class. But look at this. It lays it out. Like, okay, cool. You have a great score, right? But we got to have a great percentage too.
Yeah.
You could have a lot of shots in the NBA, right? But if you're 30%.
You
might be leading the points, but you're 30%. You're Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, you're
getting traded
90 times.
Going,
you make 30.
You know what I mean? So that was cool. That was something you brought up at the app that I didn't see. So such like the percentage is your average. So
laps
maybe you won a bunch, but maybe you raced every weekend and your percentage ain't that good. That was cool. So again, there's a lot of things.
And I think it's just starting, and it's only going to get more dialed in. Like they'll take input from you, track owners, and OEMs, and what they're looking for, and it's literally just moving decimal points and algorithms, and it's just a big Excel spreadsheet.
And valuing races, they've got the races worth different points. Valuing the wins, you beat 5 guys at Chicken Lick Raceway versus maybe you only beat 5 guys at this race. Yeah, but they're ranked guys. They've been at bigger races. They've been at the national levels.
It changes.
Well.
It'll change for the value, the degree of difficulty of your win.
I'm learning right now as
there you
guys
go.
are talking.
So that's why. But they've thought about it. It's not just arbitrarily like, well, my kid, like we were 33 guys. Well, you were in like pick a weird like Montana, like 33 guys. It's just not the hotbed of top flight motocross. There's a couple of guys, I'm sure, but like you do 33 guys in Florida in February at one of the Gold Cups. Now that race has more value.
Well, too, and if you look at there's other lists out there and stuff like that. But if you look at the prospect list, let's put it like, okay, there's people have ranked and done lists. But if you look at the prospect list, number 1, Max Shane, factory Husqvarna rider.
Yep.
Okay, he's been riding his championships. number 2, Jet Rao. And then number 5, maybe he hasn't ridden as much, but Beckham Smith is on a long-term deal with KTM. It's not like, oh, we beat a system, right? They literally the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
It's not. It's easy to go. Okay, hey, we're gonna massage, and you can by racing more of this or that. But like,
what is that?
If you look at
what's
the
on
top
screen,
5,
by the way?
It's
a video game. See,
that's
this
not
is
your
Mesquite.
diorama though, or your
This is MX bikes. So on top of doing the
blended reality.
The blended realities, exactly.
This is part of our blending reality series. We're going to blend this next reality in the next episode.
Okay. So doing a whole lot of blending going on. They teamed up with Chauncey Sharp and Cody King. MX Bikes, I know a ton of people that are all in on this. They're spending money. They're spending hours doing it. I saw a couple of Instagram stories today of kids playing the World Mini MX bikes on the way to World Mini.
Dude, the physics of this are
I mean, tell me that's not like going up the elevator right now.
Right now, you're going to come down. That's a pretty long dirt.
I love this new section of the track. Holy shit, I would go that fast. I'm telling you.
You would,
and I would totally pass Zach in the rankings.
Sure.
Boom.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
So I'm going to, Zach. Junior World Mini, they're doing it on Saturday. I might line up just so I can get some points and beat you.
You know what Junior World Mini stands for?
He
that's
says
just
that.
the beginners and everything, right?
Yep.
Well, that's fine. I'm technically a beginner now. Okay. I haven't raced in.
We're outside the top 100,000.
Look at all the fans over there, man. Big crowd here today.
You can see us in the tower right there.
I was there on the right. So check it out. Like, there's so many good tracks now. You can, every round of Supercross is in there. All the outdoors, Loretta's, whatever. They're all there. So,
and you can actually download that track now.
Yeah, that is available for download now. That's not like about to come out. That is live. You can get that download. Like I said, people are playing it on the way to the track today. But this is no games right here on screen right now. We had some great racing today. Kicked off the program, so we went all the way through the practice.
Notice the flags, by the way.
Yeah, you just watch them throughout all of these videos, how violently they're whipping around because it never let up.
Head, man. That young man, that 11 on the, that was Traxton Phillips, is on that 13 machine. 11 years old in this 9 to 15 class, so he's like a freshman doing work. Hey, what do you see when you see 11-year-old kids square up with 14-year-old kids and lead for like a lap? That's legit.
They're so worried about AMA. At a certain point, it's just like fast is fast. And you get on these 85s, and that AMA age stops not mattering so much. So when you fit the bike, it's so fast.
So you're going to see Dylan Graham. You talked about him. He's on the 96 machine. He's going to start working his way. Not really in the frame here just yet.
Yeah, Logan Connolly right there on the 351. That was the guy on the move earlier today. We kind of thought he was going to go all the way to the front. There you see Graham starting to enter back.
And that's the Traxton Phillips, the 11-year-old. AMA 11, NMA 3,
Sorry, it's not an AMA class. It's a 9 to 15 class. Big wheels they are, but the 11-year-olds using the smaller wheels. The smaller wheel is better off the gate. It will push you out. So it's not abnormal to see the younger kids are obviously a little bit lighter, and they got that smaller wheel, so they're more prone to get good starts too. So this isn't, again, it's not something that's abnormal.
And look at the he's getting a lot of heat.
Oh yeah,
11 years old.
He was under pressure that whole time, and I mean, Phillips, you talk about being a little more lightweight. He was pulling going up that big hill. We saw him get a couple of good drives. Graham, though, probably the most aggressive of all of these kids we saw. Working his way.
Right about that time, we're still in the tower. Delicious breakfast burritos here at Mesquite. Big shout out to Gregg for coming.
He went down while leading this one, I believe.
Yeah, a little bit of a wobble. He did finish third.
Finished third, yeah.
But I believe he actually tipped over on this one. I'm not. You guys called it, but
this is race number 2 of the morning, so track's still pretty somewhat lonely there before the wind just says, "I'm going to chap your lips, your dad's ass. I'm going to chap everything in a tri-state area. You're getting it. You are getting it."
But you can see this track got rough today. You know, it's funny. It's
square edge.
Yeah, very dry and square edge.
It's funny because West Coast kids will come to me and be like, "Oh, your track's so rough." My track's ruddy. Like this is like
this is choppy bone,
just
jarring. Who's on the 41? There's Jake Willis. What you talking about? There's Traxton.
He came with Sean Hackley all the way from, I think he's...
Slow-mo. What do we got here? Love slow-mo for no reason.
Who was that?
The 518.
Came with Hack.
Yeah, Willis came out here with Sean Hackley.
He's
Yeah,
got little E's on the back of his.
So these races today, too, we did do practice, and then these races were just for gate picks. So all of our qualifying races put you on the gate for both your motos. So just like the MXGPs, practice, then qualifying, and those qualifying races put you on the gate for your 2 motos. So Moto 2, even if you win Moto 1, you're still going on however you did in this race right here.
And that's
Traxton again.
That's a pretty unique feature right there. Like we had a couple of the quote-unquote favorites today that had bad qualifying races. And
Townsend had a bad
Yeah, that's going to set the tone for the whole weekend, even if he dominates these first motos.
See what they have to work. What are you seeing, Greg? What do you see?
I think Traxton Phillips, and he was just on it always.
Graham again?
But Graham, I kind of figured Graham would come up. Graham came out of my place a couple years ago, and he was kind of out of his element, and that's kind of why I brought him up earlier, because he looked a little out of his element in the east, or the softer dirt. And Caleb Tennant was out there with me, and he's like, "Hey, this Dylan Graham kid, and we didn't get to see it a lot at my place, but I'm seeing it now. That's for sure.
I'm seeing a lot of your black beard. Well, let's get back to that beard. Are we dyeing it? What are we doing here?
No.
We're good?
I'm not that old.
I know, but some people just do it. David Iser dyes that hair jet black, like purple black. It's like Wayne Newton black. My buddy David Iser.
Is it black?
It's pretty strong.
Might come it up.
All right, let's go into some more. This is the Open BC.
This was one of my favorite races of the day. It's just still windy. Wind did not let down. This was race 6. And this was one of the ones that had some of the heavy hitters, Trinity Bachelor, Grayson Townsend names I think we're all pretty familiar with. Gage Dunham jumping up to the big bike now.
One of the trickiest names in the business, Hoerr. So if you get lazy on that name, that'll get you in trouble. So we had to
got to be careful with that one.
Had to be careful with that one. So there's Townsend on the 87. There's Trinity Bachelor, and there's Gage Dunham. We're going to say their names 5,000 times because they were the show. And there's a bunch of other palm trees out there. Who was watering those trees? There's no way those, ACL action there. Townsend and Trinity. And there's Gage.
Got him. He's young on that bike too.
Yeah, one of the early rides on the boot.
AMA 14 on that bike, so that's cool to see. And then obviously Townsend was really young. That's why he won the B class last year at Loretta's as an AMA 14-year-old. That's a big deal.
But a legit 14-year-old as well.
Yeah, landed him the Honda ride. And then I think right now you got kind of battle of the desert right here between the 2 local boys of Bachelor and Townsend. I think there's maybe a little bit of animosity. I think those guys grew up racing each other.
Talk about the AMA 12-year-old Tyler Bowers. Do you remember when he raced my qualifier at my track? He had to wait till the last one because he turned 13 because you could not ride a big motorcycle, a 450, as a 13-year-old.
I think he drove there in his pickup truck, though, didn't he?
He did. He was smoking and drinking, the whole way through, and stayed at his own hotel. But 13 raced the area qualifier, and at Loretta's, nobody gave them the word whether or not if you win this moto, you're going pro at 13. So
it looks like Townsend must have tipped over in this moto too because he was in front of
Yeah, he did. Can confirm. I just didn't get it. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
I sucked.
Good call, Greg.
No, because Townsend was consistently, him and Shane were running consistently the fastest lap times
a tad
in
bit
practice,
quicker, but I'll say this, Trinity stepped up. When Townsend got him, they went for about a lap and a half, and there's Townsend working on Dunham there after his little tip over.
This little flat corner right here was one of the most treacherous as well. It looks simple, but especially late in the day, it was causing all kinds of issues.
Just a basic flat corner, Greg, is it's flat with no ruts. These kids don't even know what to do.
There's nothing basic about that. Look at there, you go from having traction to complete slickness to. That's why I like this track today. It's not your typical motocross dream, right? Because you've got because of the wind, ride it out. But like to be you have to be a technical rider. So it's funny you say that about Bachelor because he's probably in. So easy to make a mistake. It's easy to get out front and just be in management mode, right? So you're just riding as fast as you need to, right?
But he amped up once he got it.
And that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising to think, okay, hey, I'm gonna just manage this moto until I got some heat, and then not take any big chances until.
How hard is that though? I feel like finding another gear and getting out of that rhythm you were just in, because he's gonna make you get out of that rhythm, and that's what happened.
Yeah, but if these guys, I know both these riders have grown up, with the RMX series and riding this track, so they probably got a pretty good idea of where you can, slow down and not get past, and where you've got, the passing areas. So you can kind of slow play that a little bit and kind of play a little, we say cat and mouse all the time, but you understand where somebody can actually make a pass. So you only got to be aggressive in the areas that somebody's going to really make that pass.
There's Gage Dunham in slow-mo. Hey, we had access to the app, so we actually use the app while we're announcing, and you can break down lap times, and it breaks down each rider's individual lap time when you tap on it. So it makes you seem like such a smart announcer. Gives their live real-time rankings, their lap time breakdowns individually. It's a great tool just for us, selfishly.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I was not consulted at all on this app.
Yeah, I know. Some of my guys did four different practices today, and every single you clicked on whatever practice it was they were out there for. You clicked, it gave them all the lap times from every single practice. So you could see if the track was getting slower or faster, or it didn't matter. Like, it was so cool to have that data. And with us running a training facility, that's what we're doing. You know, we're here to collect as much data as we can to make changes and get faster.
And Greg, just let you know, you'll be able to use it at Game Moto here in the near future.
I saw it was on the app.
That.
Well, your track's on the app, but you'll also be able to use it as a training tool.
Oh,
There's the race here. Bachelor
Everything that we
hanging
do
tough.
at a race, you can do at a training facility.
there we go.
Listen to that. The wind actually died down for a moment.
This was definitely one of my favorite races of the day. That Grayson catching up was badass.
Yes. So you know the track stuff too, because Grayson's from here, right? He had some tip overs today, and then the Schoolboy 2, maybe we'll see later, but in the Schoolboy 2 class, he had a couple bigger wrecks. Been up the bike a little bit, wasn't really able to finish with a good finish at all. So it shows you how technical the track is, because and tough, because Grayson's that guy. You know, he's not the guy that makes those kind of mistakes.
Yeah, he's ranked 148 all time. He's actually one of the only riders that I've seen ranked higher on the all-time rank than his 2025 national rank.
Hey, talk about Brody Moss. I'm a big fan just from a style standpoint of big tall kids on a bike. And Brody Moss, for me, has some great style. And I think he's going to be really good when he gets on the big bike. He's great here, obviously. But I think he's going to be fun to watch.
Well, I'm just saying, you're talking posture, and you're talking about actually, physiology. Like, he understands that. And you ride the bike. He rides the bike in that way.
I'm thinking protesting Loretta's no chance.
Yeah, don't
Do not
you get
do that.
judo chop to the friggin' face.
To the neck.
So no, it's not surprising to see Brody over there. I'm excited tomorrow to see Brody square off against some of the Schoolboy 1 riders. From practice, I believe he was first or. I don't know. Him and Boasina were close, but they were definitely in the Schoolboy 1 and the 125s. He was faster than everybody, I think, except for maybe Boasina, or they were close. So that'll be cool to see tomorrow to him face off against the 125s. He could win the 125 class.
How about the look on the brown? The brown is it's interesting. It's Mowgli Road with that brown, the whole setup, the bike. It's a good look.
Yeah, it's earth tone. I don't know if you remember the 90s. Fox did a earth tone color, so we do those browns.
Thor just did one, the brown stuff. They just did it.
Yeah, well, nobody's got any originality anymore. They got it. It looks pretty original, but everybody's bringing back old school.
I'm not mad about it. That was a great battle there too, with Mowgli Woe, Jake Rowe, and Britt Birkenback.
He had a saying whoa.
He did. Whoa. There's some ruts, dude. You East Coast guys, look at that form, elbows up. Man. Look at that. Break it down, Greg.
No, that's it.
And this is cool, cool for us too.
That foot slip off.
Way to call it.
You gotta plant that thing.
Because Moss is not a guy that I was as familiar with, and I mean, scrolling through like his profile right now, he's another one ranked. He's ranked 54th all time. So immediately it's like, oh wait a second, this dude's legit. You know, he wins 13%, or he's leading the laps 13% of the time. Like, it's incredible to see the amount of information and how far back it goes on this app as well too. I mean, it's a tool for announcers as much as it is riders.
There's Jake Willis with some mended clothing there. They just kind of burst on the scene.
Yeah, Malcolm's back with that adventure, and with the
MC
Chris
on his
Hancock
side.
and the Ryder Williams, and Grayson Kyler. So that's cool to see that partnership and the mended frame.
Look at the difference between Mowgli, his brown, and all that, and then the bright 90s day glow. And then that Liat, it's just all black. It's just ominous. Brock, who was that? Last year was a kid that wore Liat here last year that was all black. He was
Right,
best
Pappas. Pappas is a
it was Dane Pappas. Exactly who it was.
Dane Pappas.
The fans were really not entertained with whatever was going on there. Not sure what was happening. I thought they put on a great show, but I mean, these guys are hard to please.
But yeah, you bring up Brody Moss being a little bit, I would say further back, but he's one of those kids that you're going to see really make just like he reminds me a lot of Grayson Townsend. He's done a lot of foundational work with technique, and you're going to see him spike. His results are going to spike in his latter half of his career when it matters. But it comes from, man, I tell you what, a lot of times it comes from having bright parents that understand the long game. And Brody's dad's one of those guys, and you can tell by the way he rides a bike. You can tell by the way Grayson Townsend rides a bike. But that's why you look at their numbers, and they weren't as big because they're going to be guys that blossom later, like a Justin Cooper, like a Levi Kitchen. And I expect a bright career out of Brody Moss.
Yeah, it's impressive to see, and I mean, I feel like
you're looking at your beard right now.
My second year. Oh yeah, he's lasered in on it now. Got those clean lines.
We'll get there.
I gotta get a beard, so I gotta talk trash about it. So whatever.
One day.
Still got one more class, 65 7 to 11s. How about that? On cue. From Smith and Jet Rao.
Prospect number 2 in Beckville or Jet Rao.
Yeah, how many guys did you
Beck Smith's 5 on that prospect list for this year. Battling that chain really wants to. Not on that chain here today. How many times is that chain right now?
That's so funny. He's
That
for
is
real.
crazy.
No, that's for real. That's
And we're not even started yet. Like, we haven't even got through that. So Jet wanted to leave here as the number 1 prospect.
I don't know. I think he's got a pretty sick style.
It looks cool, but technically, is it different though?
Yeah. You're just a little lankier, right? You can be, but now he's definitely getting there. It's definitely tall rider. It's definitely harder. Like Benny Bloss, it's hard to find a good.
Now that's
photo of
extra,
him, right?
dude.
You know
Yeah,
what I
right.
mean? But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how big Jet gets. But he's younger. This is a 7-11 class. We got a 10-year-old, 10, 11, 7 to 9 split up. But it's cool to see that Jet's staying so close to Beckham. But it's not surprising because they train together.
Hey, what about a 141 of Yamina Bernie? Like, I did not know that was a female racer until the end of the day. I was like, I thought it was just another dude that was hauling ass. And it was,
let's see what Yumina's rate.
She finished 4th, and she was in the mix. She finished 3rd in another moto. She beat some dudes. I was like, wow, man. I had no clue. There she. No, that's not her.
That's Hinton. So Yamina crashed in this moto. She would have been 3rd in this moto.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she finished 4th.
I mean, that's a good out.
She's ranked 43rd in 2025, so she's as legit as it gets. 367 all time.
Yeah, and it's tougher for some of these bikes. She's a one bike gal, right? So you're limited to classes.
There she
is. It is a little bit, because you can only ride so many classes riding one bike. Where Jet does ride the 85 as well, so it's easier to get. And Jet had an amazing spring nationals where he came out and really showed out. So. To come back to Mesquite, they were really excited to come back to Mesquite. This is where he kind of cut his teeth early on. They're from Montana, so any chance they get to come back here and work with, and ride this track, they love it.
From Montana, the hotbed of motocross. How many national supercross wins are from Montana? Can you name any?
Wins?
Yeah,
David Pingree.
From Montana?
Yeah, sure.
All right. He's from Montana?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
David
Why did I not know that?
Yep. Now, I mean,
moved to Arizona pretty early.
Yeah. But originally from Montana.
Okay.
So
I know Shea Bentley got him, so Georgia on top there. It's painful for him to even.
Got him.
I know that's rough. There's the dub. 23. Pull the dub down. Beckham Smith, he had a good day.
Yeah, he's a force, man. He's a little professional, so it's not surprising.
What were their
at all.
points? You remember Beckham and Jet Rao were within a few points. They were so close today, a few points for 25.
And that's like with everything. So Jet Rao for 2025 is is 2nd. Beckham Smith is 5th. Yeah, you can see it right on screen. You drop down to all time, and I believe they're in the 20s. But again, it was like 1 or 2 apart. And you got to think, I mean, like, Greg, you talk about the importance and how much you guys stress racing.
There's Gage Linville.
This is going to start to maybe change that a little bit for people around the country as well, starting to put a little more value into their rankings. You're not getting ranking points for practicing throughout the weekends. Just look them up here. So all time.
And it's wild because to have some of these young kids have such a high ranking, you know what I mean? Because you said this app goes back a long time.
To
right?
18, is that what we're hearing?
Is that
At least that's where my data was from.
Mine was from 16.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw. So to go back and some of these guys really didn't start racing until that are in that top, like you said, the top 50, and they didn't start racing in 2020, 2021. That's really impressive. Like
so
Jet Rao came to me. He was
43rd.
He was 4 to 6, and in my first year, he was 4 to 6 in 2022, and he won a moto at Loretta's, and that's when I started working with Jet. In
Here we go.
2022. So, So he's really only been racing since 21 and that's an AMA 5. So I mean, to be that high all time, that's pretty wild. That just shows you how much racing they've done. So,
how easy is it to get caught up in a guy on a 50 and like, oh, he's the next big thing, and or you have to temper yourself, temper the parents, like, hey, we start changing gears. It's like baseball when we go to kid pitch, or from off the tee to kid pitch, that's a game changer. So from a 50 to a 65, you know what I'm saying?
There's so many, you have
benchmarks.
To. Like, I mean, there's safe bets, and obviously, I mean, you look at the parent. I mean, from what I do, I just look at the parents. There's so many variables, like dealing with a divorce or something like that.
Correct.
There's so many things that can change.
Those are the things that nobody even sees. Like, what happened to him? What did he do? What's wrong with him? I'm like, bro, his home life could be in shambles. You just don't know it.
Yeah, you need parents working together at this, and it's super important to do that and to figure out how to do this as a family and what works for you. But yeah, that's big. There's no such thing as a sure shot, like at all. And
dude,
you really can't start looking until you're like really 14.
Schoolboy BCs and stuff like that.
Every single one of these kids wants to be a professional motocrosser. Everybody is a prospect, right? They want to be. It's not until you're, I mean, at a minimum 14 years old before you can really understand the workload it takes to go to that next level, and then you get to make that, you can make that decision. And I think a lot of kids have done it for so long and have been so good, they're just coasting on that, and they've not made that decision. They're going to put in the work, and that's tough. So that's why it's really cool. And that's why I have respect for Hayden Deegan, because he didn't have to do it. He wasn't in a sink or swim position. He came from, Brian made a healthy career for himself, and he had a great home life, and he put it on himself to do that. So there's so many variables to do. And I could really be a whole nother thing about this, but yeah, there's definitely, as kids, just go race and go have fun, go get experience. Like that's what we're all about. But build the technical foundation, and that's why we've been successful in the 50 classes and the 65 classes, is because like I don't let kids do it wrong. I don't push speed. I don't care. Kids will go fast when they decide to go fast.
Have you had to sit down? Like I've done it 2 times at 2 different races, and out of nowhere, I told a dad, I'm like, dude, your kid is, as soon as he's man enough to quit, he's going to quit. You are ruining him. Like he hates dirt bikes because of you, and he loves dirt bikes.
No, well, have I had? I have a ban list that gets.
Oh,
I mean, I literally have a ban list. Like you've been kicked out because like you get into a place like this and it's a cancer, and then what happens a lot of times if you want a result right now out of a kid, you yell at him, scream at him, beat his ass. He's probably going to go faster. And then guess what? Another family that is probably good, they'll see that happen and they see that result. And then they'll go, oh, well, his kid's fast. We're going to start treating our kid like a dickhead too. And it's a cancer. You have to go, boom, you have to get it out. And then you create a culture of how to, so that's what I want to do. I mean, it's too much right now. What we do with the facilities the ask is too much. The spend is too much. I assume everybody wants to try to be a professional motocrosser. So I try to build this foundation from the ground up, and I don't push speed. I just try to build a foundation for these kids.
Well, hey, speaking of foundation, Max Shane's one of your guys. He's got a great foundation, obviously, and #1 on the app. And because we sucked so bad at the beginning, we got a bonus clip, boys.
Let's do it.
Max's Moto.
Nice.
Take a look at this.
That Schoolboy 2. So Max's program this year is like Jet Rao's program's been to ride as many classes as possible. So his 350's down, so we ride as many as we can just on the 250. But it's to try to win. He's at that deal where he's got to learn to win. Right now he's he rode the B class last year. He chose to stay down, so he's got a lot of pressure to win on him. So like there's 2 types of pressure, right? There's the pressure of okay, I need, I'm in this spot. And I'm a 10th place guy and I need to get to the top, but he's got this spot right now where he's like kind of expected to win. And I think that's a different kind of pressure that you need to learn how to deal with, right? Because when you're not expected to win, then you can go to the line and it's just like, okay, well, if I don't exactly. So the goal with Max, and that's why he's leading with Husqvarna last year when I sat down with Daniel Blair, he's like, Max isn't going to want to ride B limited classes next year. I said, yes, he is, because I'm going to tell him that's what we're doing. We need to learn to win as many. We need to go racing. So that's what we're doing this year. We're racing, and we're trying to win everything. And if we don't, then it's a learning lesson, and it's trying not to get in our heads. So as you can see, that was a little Bolacina.
Yeah,
that's another one of my guys. He's on the 125 in this Schoolboy 2, and he started, I don't know.
How do you teach them how to lose, though? Like it's great. It's great when you win, but when it gets sideways, I want to know how you program these dudes to handle that.
Funny because like I heard Holiday say that on a thing you guys did a long time ago. Oh, these kids need to learn how to lose. Well, he's dealt with winners. most people already know how to lose. Let's face it. Like there's very few Jet Reynolds. You know what I mean? So when Holiday's talking, he's talking like a Jet Reynolds or a Ryder D or a Hayden Deegan, right? Because you got to claw. But most of us start off and we suck, right? Like so it's something. It's so he's talking at the highest level when you scout kids from. When you scout the Cannon Zabiniks and the Beckham Smiths and the Jet Rouse, right? They really haven't lost yet. But dude, everybody like Trinity Bachelor's been getting his ass kicked. Matt Shane's got his ass kicked. Grayson Townsend's got his ass kicked. These kids already know how to learn. So when they go pro and maybe they win Loretta's or A-class year and they roll up to Unadilla and they get a 16th, no problem.
Next.
Dust your boots off. Yep. We've been here before.
Right.
Jet Reynolds goes and gets a 16th at his first national.
That was tough.
Unraveled. Unraveled. How do you go from being 16th to first? These kids have already done it. So that's my take on you need to learn how to lose. Let's face it. We've all taken a lot more losses than wins.
I'm the king of losing. I'm such a loser. It's nothing.
You think I earned 125,000 without taking some losses, Greg?
That's right, baby. That's right.
Well, this kid had a good day. He one moto just on the day. He only raced once. One qualifying moto anyway. Max Shane. So. Your top-ranked Verb prospect here on the app, the checker flag, proves it. He was the fastest guy. I think he probably had the fastest lap time. I think it's going to be good, though, when Townsend, Trinity Bachelor, and him all get out on that racetrack at the same
Townsend
time.
was in this moto, too. I believe he went down pretty heavily early. So
he was like 12.
There's both seen him just making that late race charge on that 125. Nobody had more downhill speed. You said Townsend.
Oh, my gosh.
But that 125 coming down the hill.
Super light, nimble.
It started, and I'm just like, I'm scared for Kane. And I told Max, because Max is in
those all
moto.
your trophies back there?
Yeah, everyone. I won them all at Sprout Patch USA, Billings, Missouri. Don't worry about it.
There you go.
Hey, Kevin, in the chat, we got two people. Zooted says, it's cool seeing Kevin Kelly around the moto world. Man, I missed Bremen. Glad I was able to go up riding that track. King MX, who is Cody King, the guy that did the virtual track for us, MX Bikes track. Loved
sick.
Bremen so much. Miss those Thursday night practices.
Man, Thursdays were good, man. AP would come up from Moto X compound, and our Thursday nights were, we had free wings. My dad would cook up all the wings. We'd turn the lights on. We had some boys there. Our Thursday nights got rowdy with AP when he was in a B class. It was good stuff. Like it was a vibe. It was a thing.
I missed out on Bremen. I was bummed. We didn't go that way much, but
Did you guys ever make it out?
no, we just got to go. We went to. I mean, we were shoestring budget guys. I mean, we were.
You just did the DMXS party.
That was Supercross. Now
I know, but like you're in then.
We just made it then. We made it then.
But Greg was in our movie The Prospects back then with his boy Jimmy.
Okay.
So
Here at World Mini, I believe, but no.
Well, we filmed that at Waldo or Bithlow or somewhere down in the Winterams back then.
I tell you what, I saw what was Alan's name over at Hill City.
Alan McWilliams.
We stopped in there one time, and he said his track was way better than Bremen. Just kidding.
Hey, don't take that,
but
Kevin.
seriously,
Don't you take
just
that.
kidding.
I'm just kidding. Alan's doing Barber now. Have you seen Barber Motocross?
At the Speedway.
At the Speedway. And if you imagine what Barber looks like,
yeah.
that's what Barber Motocross now looks like. They've got
awesome.
You're going to hear more about that place.
All right.
Alabama, as if the Southeast doesn't need more. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, we ready to wrap this up. We're going to do this all again tomorrow night. We got Randy Richardson's going to make an appearance. Daniel Blair's going to make an appearance. I think RV is in the house as well. So we're just setting the table. We're the losers. We'll get out of the way for the big guns tomorrow.
This is the pre-party.
There you go.
We're getting some real racing tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll
So-
drop some real gates and we'll see how rowdy this thing gets.
Shout out to all three people that watched. Thanks for Wes for screwing all the coverage up. And
Hey, we're gonna be dialed tomorrow though. It's kind of like like chugging your first beer. You're kind of slow, and then the
you
second
throw
one you
up
got
and
to
your
dial.
mom finds out and you get in trouble. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Good deal. Thanks for watching the
And on that
VPP. Let's shut it
Hey,
down.
should you guys want to hear the song again?
Please,
I'll play the
one more
intro
time.
again. Why not?
Let's dance it out.
We're out.